You know what? Let's draw a card just, you know, because. Oh, baby. All right, you know what? How about you discard a card? Because I said so. All right, so he spit in his face blood, and so the torturer goes, holds his arm back. Opponent! Wait, you didn't... Is it too graphic for you, opponent? My fair citizens of Sodium City, we have Deal or No Deal. This deck is going to be revolved around the Davriel Planeswalker, mainly the new one, Davriel Soulbroker, but we do also utilize the other one from War of the Spark, Davriel Rogue Shadowmage. The main win condition in here is going to be Davriel Rogue Shadowmage being the beginning of each player's upkeep. If that player has one or fewer cards in hand, Davriel deals 2 damage to them. Now this is very, very slow and methodical, but you are able to discard a card from their hand essentially every single turn. But we also have Faceless Haven to kind of finish things off. You know, it's really no joke. Unless they're exiling those permanents, we're perfectly fine because we are running 4 Gaia's Blessings to help with the mill, but also additional recursion, and then of course some card draw. So Davriel Soulbroker, one of the newer planeswalkers, it's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty, so it's kind of iffy. Has a +1 that's until your next turn. Whenever an opponent attacks you and or planeswalkers you control, they discard a card. If they can't, they sacrifice an attacking creature. This can be both good and bad, but for the most part, you're not going to use this that frequently. For the most part, you're just going to use the -2, maybe the -3. So the -2, accept one of Davriel's offers and then one of Davriel's conditions, which we'll cover in a second. But then the -3 is target creature perpetually gains -3/-3, which is just really good in general. There are going to be 8 possible offers that Davriel can give you. Now all of these are going to be random. You'll be presented with 3 of them and you get to pick one of them. Now, you'll never have duplicates out of those 3, but if you end up doing the -2 and then the -2 again, you can get multiples that way. So keep that in mind. So the first one is going to be draw 3 cards, which is nice. The next one, conjure a Mana Guardian into your hand, which is like some garbage 5/3 creature that does some stuff. We don't want that, right? We don't care about that. It can be nice in a pinch, but for the most part, we don't really want it because it also assists the opponent if they're able to kill it. It's not good. We don't care about that. And then return 2 random creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. They perpetually gain +1/+1. Since we don't have any creatures in the deck, that's also irrelevant. There's one that's return a random creature card with the highest converted mana cost from among cards in your graveyard to the battlefield. Again, no creatures, so we don't really care. The next one is you get an emblem with creatures you control get +2/+0. This can be good because we have Faceless Haven, so that's something to keep in mind, but usually we won't get that. The next one is you get an emblem with spells you cast cost 0 and a black less to cast. This is amazing. Having all your spells cost 1 black less is freaking ridiculous, right? It's just simply ridiculous. Because if you get 2 of these, you can cast Ritual of Soot for 2 colorless mana. Like, that's insane. Anyway, so the next one, you get an emblem with Davriel Planeswalkers you control have +2 draw card. This is very important. If you see this, you're going to essentially get this every single time. Like 100% of the time, you are going to want to get this just so you have it once. This makes it to where our Davriel Rogue Shadowmage, which is a 3 mana, 3 loyalty, and only has the -1 ability to make target player discard a card, giving that ability to +2 to draw a card yourself brings that loyalty up so that you can then -2 2 more times, or -1 2 more times, and then draw another card. Or you can just continuously draw a card if opponent has already, you know, discarded their whole hand. So it's very, very good. It's always threatening a discard because the loyalty just gets so high with Rogue Shadowmage. It's very, very good. I like that it gives it to all Davriel planeswalkers. I kind of wish there were more Davriel planeswalkers, but it's still really good, right? And then the last one is you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. This can be good. I don't think I've ever used it because once I get the Davriel planeswalkers, you control +2 draw a card. I'm pretty much done with it. And then the spells you cast cost 1 black less to cast. Usually once I get those 2, I never use the -2 ever again because it's a little bit too risky. The other ones just don't benefit us that much. And since the conditions are so devastating, or can be, usually you don't want to risk it after you get the really good ones that you need. So let's go over the conditions. Once again, there's 8 conditions and you'll see 3 at a time. So once you pick one of the offers, you'll get presented with 3 conditions. So the first one, and all these are random. So the first one is you lose 6 life, which can be fine for the most part. Depends on what your life total is at the time, depends if they're a control deck. You know, there's a lot of various factors that go into that, but it is a decent option, right? The next one is exile 2 cards from your hand. If fewer than 2 cards were exiled this way, each opponent draws cards equal to the difference. This isn't too bad either. You can use it if you absolutely need to, if there's really, really bad ones after that. So it is something you can do. The next one, sacrifice 2 permanents. This one, I actually don't mind that much if we also get to the spells you cast cost 1 black less to cast, because usually at that point we'll sacrifice the Davriel that we just had and then a land, and essentially you're starting from ground 0 at that point. But it kind of, again, depends on the other bad conditions that you get, because that's usually a pretty bad one. The next one is going to be each creature you don't control perpetually gets +1/+1. This is one of the best ones that we can get, because if they have no creatures, because we have a lot of board wipes, so if they have no creatures on the battlefield, then all their non-existent creatures get perpetually +1/+1. So it's not an emblem. It only applies to the creatures that are currently on the board. So that is fantastic. If you get that, you almost always get it. One of the other ones that's really good for us to get is you get an emblem with creatures you control get -1/-0. The only creature that we have is Faceless Haven, so it does kind of suck in some ways because our Faceless Haven becomes a 3/3 instead of a 4/3, but compared to the other ones, it's still pretty good. The next one is you get an emblem with spells you cast cost 1 black more to cast, which we do not like that, but it is something you can get in a pinch. I guess depends on what else you have to choose from. I've never had to choose it. Compared to the other ones, I think that's really, really bad. But then the next one, you get an emblem where whenever you draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. I will never get this one because that is horrifying. I disagree with this one. We have 4 Gaia's Blessings in the deck for a reason. It's kind of like a last resort win condition is to not mill ourselves. And if we're always drawing cards, which we do have quite a few ways to draw cards, including the Davriel, or the emblem that allows our Davriels to draw cards, it's not something we want, right? And then the next one is you get an emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life for each creature you control. This one is also amazing because once again, we have no creatures. So this is probably the best one to have because we will never have a creature on our upkeep, even if we're activating Faceless Haven every single turn. So in order, I would say definitely get the emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life for each creature you control. The next one, probably each creature you don't control perpetually gets +1/+1. And then probably creatures you control get -1/-0. And then you lose 6 life. Sacrifice 2 permanents. Exile 2 cards from your hand. And it just kind of gets muddy on there. So there are some decent conditions to where it doesn't affect us whatsoever. And those are obviously going to be the ones that you want to choose. Outside of that, it's really just a bunch of different control cards, some board wipes, Casualties of War for the top end, which we really do need. So I would not remove any of the Davriels. So we have 4 of the Rogue Shadow Mages, 4 of the Soul Brokers. I would also leave in the 3 Casualties of War, possibly add in a fourth one if you can. I would say always leave in the Abundant Harvest, the 4 of those. I really like 4 Gaia's Blessings, to be honest. A lot of people don't, but at least leave in 2. If you're going to do anything else, at least leave in 2. But outside of, again, the 2 Davriels, the Casualties of War, the Abundant Harvest, and the Gaia's Blessing, outside of that, you can really just throw in whatever you need to on top of that. Oh, and you need the Faceless Havens. Maybe some other man lands if you decide to go a different route with the new green man land where you can just dump all of your mana into it. Or the black one with Menace that exiles a card from the graveyard. That one's really good. But there's not a whole lot of restrictions with this deck, and that's really just because Davriel Soulbroker doesn't really restrict you. The only thing it does is lock you into black and lock you into running both Davriels and both as 4-ofs. That's what I would say is the only real restriction to the deck. Running more creatures I would probably advise against because of the conditions. Again, outside of that, I think this deck is very, very good. I will say it is definitely the truth. It is the truth. It's really fun to play. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you want to take it and play it at home, it's only going to run you 19 rares and 4 mythics. That's almost nothing. For a Strider deck, that is ridiculously good. So once again, you could probably change some of the board wipes, maybe take them into single target removal. That'll help free up essentially all of your rares, because that's really all the rares are going to be the lands and the board wipes. That's essentially all the rares. So if you want the current deck list as it is right now, you can use the link at the top right hand corner of this video. A little card will pop out. That will take you over to my Aether Hub page. And if you want just the text-based version, it'll be in the description below, as well as another link to the Aether Hub page. Stay salty and enjoy the games. Tried over yesterday's Sliver's Reanimator in different versions. Sadly, everything I tried just turned out mostly unreliable, where Nile Aggro Sliver is just consistent. Yeah, I tried a couple things too, but I kept running into Graveyard Hate. And then today we ran into a couple of the infinite combo decks, which are kind of a problem. Guess I should, no, depends on what I get. Depends on what I get. Good. All right. Yeah, Velspark. They would just do the Velspark combo shit. Oh, how dare you. I would like to accept a term and condition, please.
First iron out the details, then tea.
Yes. Fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. All right. I made a thinking decision choice.
Well, if you're not here for tea, state your purpose already.
All right, we're doing it. We're doing it again.
Deal with me than with demons.
No. No. Sure, absolutely. For real, no lands? Can I get a land, please? Thank you, Abundant Harvest, for being fucking reliable.
Rise and shine.
No.
Waste not, want not.
Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. I think the +2 was really, really important to get. I think that was actually really important. It's hilarious. What's this do? Yeah, Untapped is still broken. Unfortunately. Let's draw a card here. Draw a card here, shall we? Yeah, I think Cardboard Live is working. Let me talk with the Untapped people. Let me send them a message. I don't know if they'll ever tell me anything about it, but who knows? That thing can just perpetually never exist. Yep. Yeah. Oh, hey, another Davriel. And I can draw cards with this Davriel? Yeah. Yes, please. I would like to draw cards with that Davriel. Thank you very much. I didn't yet, but I will. Sure. Alright. Alright, that's adorable. I have Death Touch on my creatures that don't exist.
A mind is a terrific thing to waste.
It's true, mine is a terrific waste. Okay, let's just draw another card. So let's do this. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. And do this first, for sure. Non-land. I choose non-land. And boom, boom, boom. Yeah. All right, let me send a message to the people and to my hookups. I'm sure they'll just say the same thing that they told everyone else. We're working on it. Okay. So, what we can do here, give that hi. I wish I had another of this Davriel. Okay, I had another one. All right, I mean, it was a little late. was like a tiny bit late. It was a tiny bit late.
This isn't your average zombie horde. Impressive, isn't it?
Even? I don't think that's gonna help you, opponent.
Putrid, but effective.
Perish the thought.
Don't you just like die? On upkeep? I mean, I'll do this too. They have a third one? They do! They have a fucking third one?
They were allowed to be servant anyway.
Even. Oh. I don't... Oh, I have enough for one, though. That's all I needed. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I needed two. I have no idea why I thought I needed two. Literally no idea. Oh. Basically head exposure for the opponent. You know that? Well, you're not acting like you know it. I mean, this hurts a lot. Alright, yep. Another land. It's useful. I don't like this, whatever this is. Yeah. I don't like it at all. What up, Rodman? You got a gifted sub earlier. Davriel Kane. I cast counterspell. Oh boy, what are they doing? They're holding up counterspells.
Well, clearly I'm the first iron out the details, then tea.
Okay, that's good. Fuck. Whenever you draw a card, shit. I can't sack two permanents, can I? I have to. I can't make my shit expensive all the time. The last one was okay. Probably wouldn't deck. Maybe not. Now is a counterspell. No, it's not. I lied. It'd be a shame if you were going up against someone that had 4 Gaia's Blessings in their deck, wouldn't it? Play it with brought back. Solid move. Settle the wreckage, Poggy.
You want me to fight?
Nice. Noise. Noise. Just noising your noise. Really?
Fine. I'll just have all the tea.
Where are your counterspells, opponent? What are you doing?
Well, I'd say it's good to see another planeswalker, but it's not.
What are you doing? Scaring me. Three, four, five, six, seven. 7 mana? Azorius control, all lands, no counter spells, no creatures. It's just like a weird mill deck. It's probably a mistake.
You won't refuse my offer.
Sure. Don't know what's going on, chat. I don't know. That was free real estate? Yeah, that was pretty nice.
It's free real estate.
No. Well, I'll get that next. Don't worry about that. This is torture. The opponent is conceding. I don't know. For the opponent, I mean, it's only a 3/3, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. What up, Secret Muffin? 17 months Prime Gaming. It's dedication.
has been a citizen for 17 months.
No, my Davriel. I needed that. Well, looks like I got that. Thank you so much, Secret Muffin. I appreciate all the support. Let's see. Guy's Blessing, that, and that. Yeah. Yeah, the French announcer thing is fucking awesome.
Dealing with you would be easier.
I like it a lot. Ooh, it might be an approach of the second sun deck. Right? Maybe? You like it? As you should. It's fantastic. Alright. Just stopped in. This Davriel's been worked on. I have mixed feelings so far on my list. It's interesting. It's just a normal mill deck? Alright. Alright. Those are good cards. I would like those cards, please. I don't really want to do another term and condition. I think my shit's fine right now. Right? Be using a UN combo? Yeah, you're probably right. Is there a list of terms and conditions? Yes, right here. Just lost a draft game because the button pay with treasure. Nice. Non-land. That guy's blessing. I should have just got both the casualties. Land enchantment. We'll start destroying their shit. Eventually. Soon TM. Right, 20 cards left. Okay. Opponent is drawing a lot. They are in fact drawing a lot. Autotapa has so much trouble with treasures. Autotapa has so much trouble with a lot of things. I don't know if I like it particularly. Did you not touch my Davriels? I'd appreciate it.
This has been a waste of my time.
Why you gotta be like that, opponent? Why you gotta be like that? Is there another good term and condition or offer? Creatures get +2/+0. Davriel is a +2 draw card. No, so I already got all the good ones. I got the good ones. Yeah, I got the good ones. No, Davriel. That was the good one. There's a card. They didn't like that. They did not like that at all. That was excruciating. You didn't like that one, opponent? You don't like that one? Only goes on Davriel planeswalkers? Yeah. Should have been all planeswalkers? That would be fucking stupid busted. How did Paradox Tome not win? I don't know. Because Davriel land destruction is way cooler. Is there any other cards in the deck? I've only seen like 4 cards used before you win. No, actually, there's not really that many. Yeah, there's not really that many cards. What does this do?
Evil. Outside with whom
Enters battlefield,
mind is
you gain a life.
terrific thing to waste.
Alright. Oh, nice. Leyline Prowler? That Garruk has to die immediately. Motherfucker.
Buckle under our
Our
Alright.
contract is voided.
Or Davriel. I'll probably draw a card with the Cling and then Bojuka Bog, I assume.
I'd say it's good to see another planeswalker, but it's suffer.
How about we just
Like,
say no to that forever? Yeah. Be changeling planeswalkers that have all planeswalker types? That'd be hilarious. Alright, did not expect that.
let's make smart decisions, shall we?
Hmm.
Empty your mind.
All right. Well. I'm gonna say no. Gain 3. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know what I should have done with that yet. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I probably fucked that up. Discard a card. Bitch. Alright. Got it. Basically another cheap planeswalker with Davriel emblem. Yeah.
Clients to attend to.
Not all abilities, all types. I know, but there's a lot of things that are specific to... No, not planeswalker. Artifact, creature, land. Alright.
Perish the thought.
Perish the thought. Oh, Harness Infinity. Oh, okay. That's what this is. That's what this is. No, there's a few things like because if you're putting a channeler like that, you'll have there's the Gideon emblem that does stuff like that. There's a lot of things that interact with Chandra. There's a lot of things that interact with like Bolus. Like you would have to balance it so like I don't know. I think it would be a bit too much. I don't really like what they have in their hand. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Let me pick your brain.
I'm glad I did that. Alright, Extinction Event gets them good. Extinction Event gets them good. Odd. Alright, let's get a good term and a good condition. Let's go. Let's go.
My contracts are like good
Give me the card draw.
services are not.
One less. Each creature you don't control. It's fine. They don't have any creatures, so. Enjoy your creatures. Isn't it? Everything is one less. I don't want to kill it. I don't want to kill it.
Don't even think about it.
Actually, I can still get a Davriel from here, right? Oh, it's 5. Just kidding. I don't want to get rid of my Gaia's Blessing. I don't want to get rid of that. This seems a bit much for potential drawback. Seems a bit much. I mean, it does, kind of. But a lot of times, it's not that bad.
Trust me, you won't refuse my offer.
Actually, I should have got the other one. I should have done the other one. Where you lose a life for each creature. I didn't read the rest of it. Do we even run creatures? No, we don't. I used it before and I didn't read the rest of it. Fine. Everything is fine. Alright. So all of our spells are 1 black less, and we have a +2 draw card with every Davriel that we have. All of our creatures have -1, -0. But all of our spells costing 1 colorless or 1 black less is pretty good. Yeah, the Davriel is pretty pog, actually. Not gonna lie. The Davriel is actually really good. Hope we come up against some goblins. Does this do anything against goblins? Or rather, can it? No, not really. No. Well, yeah, Ritual of Soot. I meant Davriel specifically. Do they stack? It depends on which one you mean. Because you can give your planeswalkers +2 draw card on 2 different things, but it will never be like +4 draw 2 cards or +2 draw 2 cards. It won't be like that. But the spells you cast cost a single black to cast. That might be less. I'm not exactly sure. Oh. Alright, I'm on. My book? Where'd my book go? How am I supposed to read to you? When we're going up against Azorius, I can't find my book. I found it! Found the book, chat. Alright. continuation. Oh, you're back, opponent? All right, we are currently reading book number 1 of the Berserk Deluxe Edition, the manga. Welcome, everybody. Oh, where we left off, our main character Guts is currently being tortured. Oh, is opponent playing now? Oh my god, opponent's playing the game.
Oh, nice.
Alright, just kidding. Alright, so he's currently being tortured, right? And because he got caught after cut a few people in half with his giant hunk of steel. So, currently, you know, he's sitting here. They're trying to get information out of him, so he's like, "You stubborn bastard," you know that. Hello, Jeff Hoogland and everyone. We are playing against Jeskai Control, and they're going very slow, so we are currently reading the Berserk Deluxe Edition to kind of pass the time. So, you know, get a nice little hot cocoa and come join us.
Let's tidy up in there.
We haven't even done anything yet. Like, and we're not doing the infinite combo, right? We're doing actual Davriel shenanigans with Casualties of War recursion. Is opponent playing the game now? Is opponent playing the game? I know, Berserk is sweet. But yes, welcome everyone from Jeff Hoogland's stream. My name is Strider Stone. I am the mayor of Sodium City. I play a lot of land destruction. I only play decks that I've brewed, except for Sundays when people submit the weekly bounty decks. Opponent. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? So I do a lot of land destruction. And okay, apparently I have to get my book back, 'cause this is ridiculous. Okay, so the question is, do I exile this or do I shuffle it back into their library? Because LOL. Because it's really funny doing that. All right, let's exile. Let's be responsible adults, shall we? let's fucking be responsible for once. We're degenerates, but we can be responsible from time to time. But thank you for all the follows. We got Time Debt, Communist, something. I can't read. I don't know. Ducky, EC2K, Zero, Freedom Pigeons, the Wargy Corgi. Welcome. K Comrade. Hello. I still don't know how I don't have the K Comrade emote. Okay, so I definitely stick this Davriel. 100%. We're going for the card draw, I think. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Sacrifice 2 permanents? No. All my creatures, Keck W. Nemo MTG, welcome to Sodium City. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Greetings, welcome from Hooglandia. I'm always welcome. Could you read Harry Potter for us? I don't have Harry Potter, actually. Hello, Luck Vamp. Plus, I mean, the author of Berserk died recently, so it's kind of in memory.
Fine. I'll just
Hold on, do you think they have a counterspell? Are we about to get fucked? On a scale of 1 to fucked, how counterspell do you think they are? All right. Let's get this trial. Come on, baby. Opponent. Let's do the laughing eyeball. Take that, fucker. That's what you get. Jeskai control these nuts, bitch. All right, back to reading. Enjoy your decision making. All right, so yes, the torture is like, you're a stubborn bastard, you know that. Nice Prismari command, kick W. You ain't gonna make a little bit of noise. He starts whipping him, right? Whipping him over and over and over again.
Zbounboun Adoldik 5 centimes seul pile, Vestment Gaaride.
Vestment Gaaride, thank you. Guts fucking spits blood in his face from that. Torture is trying to get him to peep a little bit. Doesn't get shit. Alright, that was a very nice opponent. I don't appreciate you. You know what? Let's draw a card just, you know, because. Oh, baby. Alright, you know what? How about you discard a card? Because I said so. Alright, so he spit in his face blood, and so the torturer goes, holds his arm back. Opponent! Wait! You didn't... Is it too graphic for you, opponent? For your virgin ears? Confused how this deck works, but it's interesting. It is weird. It was definitely working for quite some time. It just lost 3 in a row. Shuffler being mean, yeah. We just ran into an aggro pocket, I guess. No, we lost to that control deck. I would like to binding that goose, maybe? No, I'd like to binding that Dovin. Like to binding that Dovin. I don't know if I really want it. Maybe I should have just languished. Or Davriel? Davriel would have still survived. Oh, now I get more value out of the languish. Opponent's name, you wonder if they play aggro? It doesn't seem like they are, actually, but yeah. I want to say we played against this person earlier, too. Like, do we have this person on farm? We may have this person on farm. Counterspell? Alright, come on, give me a good one. Give me a good one. Who raided me? Jeff Hoogland did. The Jeffriest of Hooglins. Okay, easy. Yes, enjoy all of your creatures getting +1/+1, opponent. And yeah, I'll just take another Davriel, thank you.
Like good tea, meticulously prepared.
All right. That was risky. It was risky. No. All right. Okay, whatever. Whatever. All of our spells are cheap anyway, right? Our Casualties of War is what, 2 green and 2 colorless? This is an interesting mana cost on the binding, the old gods. A green and a colorless for a binding? I'll take it, for sure. Rude. I don't know if that was necessary, but sure. that CFC is so good. I'll take it. All right, what do we blow up? Green, white? Green, white, I think. What's running vanilla disenchant? I know, not even like something useful. You know, like a Heliod's Intervention. Alright, Casualties, Gaia's Blessing, and Binding. Oh, 2 colorless Davriel? That can just forever get that. Alright, easy. Easiest game ever. Tapping Haven. I didn't have enough mana. Oh my god. Yeah. I like it. Dude. This is a big daddy bolus. Nice. What do you want me to do? Just surrender. Surrender now. Nice. Yeah, that was a sweet Extinction Event you had there, opponent. At the end of the day, this deck ended up going 6-4. I had a lot of fun with this deck. The only problem that we really ran into was Gruul Aggro. So Gruul Aggro was just extremely powerful. They were able to hasty us down faster than we could do anything. That's really the only actual weakness of this deck, since we're not running Authority of the Consuls or Settle the Wreckage. It just prevents us from dealing with Fasty Boys is really the only big weakness. Outside of that, the deck seems to be incredible. It just kind of stomps everything else. And so I enjoyed it a lot. It worked very, very well. Obviously limited testing, but from what we did, it worked really well. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.